Welcome back. Still watching Nile Cruise. The new Suez Canal was declared open in a spectacular ceremony on the edge of the Sinai Desert in the presence of world leaders and proud Egyptian citizens. The Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Sisi took charge of the inauguration of the project, which was completed in 1 year, a third of the expected time. Many Egyptian youth took part in the organization of this successful inauguration ceremony, and they did their best to welcome with great hospitality the important attendees of the ceremony. We joined with two of them and two organizers of the Suez Canal inauguration ceremony and also teacher assistants. We joined with Ashraf, Shoman and Ebtehal. Gamal, would like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Let me start off with a question, maybe let's say Ebtehal. How were you chosen to organize this ceremony? What was the criteria, or how did you get there?
Well, I was honored to be part of the network of the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay.
I have received a call from them informing me about the event, the Suez Canal, if I'm available to join. So, of course, if I'm not available, I would love even to join. So I went there to the ministry, I filled an application and set for an interview. And then a few days later, I received an information call telling me about an information session in Al Jazeera Youth Center. And then I received 2 days later, 2 confirmation calls telling me that I finally made it to the event. And we traveled on the 1st of August to Ismailia, where we set for the camp, and we were having our trainings there up till the event.
So just by applying, you received this interest in and you were there?
Yes, and as I was just saying, I was part of the network of the ministry.
Yes.
And this is why I was informed about the...
Perfect. What about you, Ashraf?
More or less the same, because the Ministry of Sound has a network, as she said, of volunteers who have participated in so many activities in their camps, in their universities, student activities like models for United Nations and some community service like Smart Hire, Life Makers, and SAIF. So some other volunteers from a very wide spectrum of backgrounds, ideologically and technical backgrounds. So some of them participate in some other activities with Ministry of Youth, like the Sharm el-Sheikh Economic Forum. So there is a wide spectrum of them, of colleagues and volunteers. So I received a call. I've been nominated by a friend of mine. Then I filled the application, I had an interview, same procedures. Then we made it all the way to Ismailia, where all of us have been stayed there in a camp together. So to get ready, the first 2 days we were all together for ice breaking and getting to know each other. Then we've been divided into groups. Each of us has some certain accountabilities and responsibilities for the organization of the event itself. Then we've been taken online, on-field training at the Suez Canal itself and the location itself of the event.
When was that?
That was from the 1st of August all the week, the whole week.
So the entire week you were...
Yes.
There was no particular training, it was just those 6 days just before
Yes.
the ceremony right away.
As I told you, the first 2 days were just for ice breaking,
Yeah.
then we've been divided, and each team has specific accountabilities.
And Ebtehal, as being one of the people who are organizing, during the ceremony, were you worried that anything might go wrong? Were there like anxiety feelings? I don't know.
Well, of course, I just felt it once the event came, and I was just standing there, and I've seen all of the presidents, the delegations. I thought myself was really good until I joined this event, and then I just felt how it is working really under stress with all of these people
And
coming to see what
security and
Egypt has done. So it was massive for me. It was really massive being,
And how did it feel, throughout the course of the preparation? Because you're preparing for a historic, part of Egypt. So it's something that is a very important milestone. How did it feel, the level of maybe enthusiasm, excitement, pride? What was it?
Well, I just felt how great it is and how people were really having their hopes upon this project, and finally it came to the day where we're going to see all of the effort that has been going on throughout the whole year. It was just making everyone see how Egypt could be doing, how great we can achieve. So it was everything set on foot, and I was really feeling just awesome, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's obvious also that it's almost becoming, the Suez Canal was becoming a brand. What do you see here? We also hosted in the last, couple of episodes are all around Suez Canal. people with this dress, with the, with the logo of the Suez
costume,
Canal,
yeah,
and
with the-
and it seems like a new brand now.
That was a spectacular advertising campaign for the event itself.
Yes.
It was very well organized, very well advertised everywhere, even in Times Square in New York. If you can remember, there were
Yes.
billboards
It's
over
so
there.
prominent.
And
And tell me, Ashraf, maybe as a youth, how do you think we're going to benefit from the Suez Canal, Egypt? What's your opinion?
so, on the first hand, I'll talk about the event itself, because can you imagine with me this environment of an integration and dynamic environment between youth, each from different background.
Yeah.
So there is give and take experience from each of them in this, even different languages, different perspectives. And even we gain knowledge from the organizing company, which was Agence Publique, a French company. That was somehow ordering us and giving us guidance throughout the event. This is the first part. Second part, from the project itself, it can tell us how we as Egyptians can do something
And benefit
miraculous,
from it.
something like pyramids on a different scale. So we promised to do it in 1 year, and we've done it. So we can do as an image, to be a good image, good reputation for our company, for our country, sorry, for those coming from everywhere.
Definitely, and I think this level of commitment is needed, within the youth. In order, it gives a message to the world, but also it should be giving us the message of commitment. I'd like to know from you about, what type of messages, what did the youth learn, in this phase of the preparation and the inauguration for such an important project?
So you mean the training itself, right?
Yes, yeah. How did you benefit from that?
Well, the training for me was very informative concerning the enhancement of diversity. It was like almost working with everyone coming from different cultures, just as Ashraf had said, different education entities, different people. It was massive how it enhanced the diversity and the thing of the citizenship of Egypt, the role of the citizenship in his country. So it was really important for this, aside from the project itself. As for the trainings, we had different trainings on different levels where we were being set for soft skills like communication skills, how you talk, how you stand, etiquette classes for girls in order to be hosting major event like this, in order to be also hosting presidents, as I said before. So it was very beneficial for me that I have been part of this. It's been on a very necessary scale for me, because as a graduate, just a fresh graduate and a teacher assistant, it helped me also in my personal life, how to deal with everyone.
But is that your first experience with, such type of events
Major,
or volunteering?
Not my first, but yet I could be calling it the first international thing to be,
Yes.
my
part of.
CV.
So is it building up, your skills to have been in, like you say, it's a network of volunteers. You're being used every time there is a special event. So is there a build-up on your skills, every time that is giving you the experience?
Yeah, the more you practice, the more you reach almost perfection. So it was every event I do attend, it's different. Even if I'm having like the same task or something, the situation itself and how it goes, you just become a totally different person. And also you know how to deal with crisis. It's crisis management, which is really important. I believe it's also important in the market in any kind of job that you will be joining. It's very important.
And as being young youth, and you've witnessed so far 2 revolutions, do you think is this good or bad? How do you feel about this? Maybe Ashraf can tell us.
I think it's completely.
How do you feel about that?
beneficial
Isn't
for
that
our country.
overwhelming?
I think it's a very good thing, because reform and progression takes steps and after steps. So these 2 revolutions were 2 political steps in this. Then we're now in the phase of economic reform and educational reform. So just step after step to complete the puzzle, which is a new Egypt. That's how I.
What about you, Ebtehal? How are you seeing this
Well, it
phase?
has been hectic, definitely. But it has been really, I would take it as a challenge, because not everyone would come across such 2 massive revolutions. We have to take the challenge, I believe, at the youth and also at the whole Egypt as a nation, because you would only start by changing yourself and by changing your perception of everything, almost by working hard. So I believe we've been lucky to witness these 2 revolutions, and we're lucky also to be taking the burden of Egypt at that important stage.
Right, finally, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us at Gamal.
Thank you.
Also, Ashraf, thank you very much for showing up and for all of your information.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
And I think we go on to our next report. We have the film festival in Morocco. Let's go and see what this report is all about.